It's February 15th, 2015, and we want to know, can positive thinking overcome all of the limitations of human physiology?
Is the entire world just one big litter box to Catman?
All this and more is coming up next. It's Season 2, Ep 19 of DCR, starting now.
This day, we rescue a world from mysticism and tyranny, and usher in a future brighter than anything we can imagine.
Look! Up in the sky! It's a bird!
It's a plane!
It's
Distress Citizens Radio.
Oh, snap, everybody. It's time for another episode of DCR. Come on. Let's do it, guys. Come on. Let's get some energy.
Are you going to say whoop, there it is?
Whoop, there it is.
Oh, how dare you.
Come on, louder. Hi, everybody. My name is Sean Lamont, comic book reader extraordinaire, and I am welcoming you back
I'm going to be trying to get you to ride the train.
I will.
Come on and ride it.
That's right. And what we're going to do is go over some DC comic books for this week, but I'm not going to do it alone because I am joined by my compatriots in crime, the less prepared Lothario, Mr. Brian Glein. How are you, sir?
Some people call me the high stepper.
No, they don't. And his beloved, the butterflies, sunshine, rainbows, fully integrated into the show. Look at how on the ball she is right now, just staring, waiting for her chance to talk, not looking away, distracted at other things whatsoever. The lovely, bubbly, effervescent Miss Kelly. Hello.
I was responding to a text. I'm sorry.
Was it a text from one of our listeners?
No.
Uh-huh.
No, but Noah, thank you for the Valentines card. I hate you.
I did see that on Facebook. He posted a lovely picture of the Flash from CW's Flash.
Uh-huh.
And what did it say on it?
It said, "Hey girl, know what this suit is made of? Boyfriend material."
Oh, yeah.
Man, Grant Gustin and Noah. I got to watch out for both of them now.
Hey, what can you say, man? They're all coming after your girl.
Yeah.
Well, love is in the air. That's how it works right this weekend. Let's set aside that stuff for now because what are we going to do this week? What should people know?
We'll be spoiling stuff.
Like what?
Fruit.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Vegetables.
If we take long enough recording this episode,
that
sure.
meat I accidentally left on top of the refrigerator.
Sure, I'm pretty sure that will go spoiled as well. What are we actively trying to spoil, though?
Your comics.
That's right, Kelly.
Your comics that came out on Wednesday from the new 52 line of DC's stuff.
Yeah, that seemed very prepared and well rehearsed.
Most of it was.
So as such, if you do not want your book spoiled, do not listen to this particular episode because we will be spoiling things that happened in this week's books. We are going to skip over some of the question stuff for this week because it is Valentine's Day weekend. We all have plans and everything because we're all romantics at heart, right? That's how we roll. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh, whoa, hey.
Barry, wait, what are you doing here?
Man, here alongside his British friend.
Oh, hello. It's me, Michael Caine.
Oh, hey, Michael Caine.
You know it's Michael Caine because he says, "Oh, hello," before he says everything.
Figured I'd at least give you something there. Don't say I didn't give you a Valentine. So as such, we're just going to jump forward into this week's books. Leading the charge. Should have been a different book. Not gonna lie. In any other week, had it not been like this, your Justice League 3000 would have led the charge because I think it deserves top billing at least once. As I said, I'm doing that whole cycle, trying to get everyone to the front of the line. Just below it, though, for me, comes Constantine number 22, and it ekes it out because, unlike Justice League 3000, it is not surviving the great culling known as Convergence. It is coming to a close here in another month and a half, so I wanted to at least put it in the spotlight once because I think the recent arc has deserved it. Much so. Quit glaring at me. Your Justice League 3000 will get to the front of the line.
I'm not glaring. There's a horrible sunbeam coming into my eyes through the window.
It's my distraction method, so I can get through this book without you just butting in with various things.
It's not the laser pointer. You just schedule a time of day where there's going to be light blinding me, you know.
So who recalls what's been going on with Constantine? He's had a very
He's on Earth 2 and it's exploding.
Yeah, Earth 2, as we all know, it's ending. It's the end of that world, it seems, as Apocalypse and Darkseid are trying to take it over and make it so that Apocalypse survives, because the actual planet of Apocalypse is going to die. And we assume they were going to move on to Earth 2, as we'll cover in World's End later. It looks like they're just want to use Apocalypse is going to eat it like Pac-Man. It's just going to nom and eat Earth 2. But as such, Constantine has met the surviving members of all of his friends and family on Earth 2. And he actually had also met his Earth 2 counterpart, who was everything good. Everything that could have been for John Constantine if he never got involved in magic. His friends are alive. His family's alive. He was part of a rock band. Everything, all of his dreams were just coming true. Looked like things are going pretty well for him. But to get his friends and family off of Earth 2, only one John Constantine could be alive. And since that one didn't know magic, he kind of talked him into killing himself by way of Earth 0 Constantine stabbing him. Earth 2 Constantine was cool with it, but the rest of his friends and family, not so much. And, as soon as he died, all of these spells start firing off that he had set up that start taking them through the cosmos, all through the cosmos in their efforts to get back to Earth 0. In this case, though, his friends and family are trying to kill him because they killed their John Constantine, or he killed their John Constantine.
This isn't confusing at all.
And as everything's blasting off all these spells, they pass through heaven because it's just jumping through the planes. Right now, it's just basically like a quick world tour of the different subplanes that are out
the
there.
The end of Thor 2.
Yes, and heaven is under attack by Darkseid and his parademons because it was physically attached to Earth 2, like it's physically attached to all the Earths. And heaven is pulling back and cutting all ties with Earth 2.
Oof.
The Earth 2 is SOL. I'm out of here. Board up the gate to
I'm
Earth
an
2.
all-loving God, but not that much.
These parademons are really
Send
creepy.
down the Monty Python foot.
Yes. So heaven is quite physically pulling back from Earth 2, and Constantine's trying to tell all of the Earth 2 friends and family that, look, it's not as cut and dry good and evil as you think it is out there. Look, heaven's being kind of douchey. I can be a little douchey too. I'm trying to save your lives. That's my whole thing. Dr. Fate, you guys remember this guy, right? Wears big shiny helmet, does all the woodgy magic stuff. Had a little run-in with Constantine before because he was trying to get off of Earth 2 because he, much like Heaven, went, this planet's kind of SOL. I also want to leave. And Constantine did not want to allow that to occur. So he had hid them from him, but as soon as the spells fire off, Dr. Fate sees them as they're slipping away into the next zone there and shoots off these Dr. Fate Ankh hooks. Like, huzzah! He just shoots off all these hooks with ankhs at the end of them, and one of them...
Like he's Scorpion?
Yeah, pretty much. And he hooks Earth 2 Constantine's mom and goes, get over here! And pulls her off the edge of the platform that they're on.
And that's weird. I literally created, when I was younger, a Dr. Fate ripoff character that was just a dude that shot ankh hooks out of his gauntlets.
Well, there you go.
Man.
Stealing from you.
Man.
I tell you, indeed.
He also had Aladdin pants, everybody.
Oh, well. This is a completely different character.
Yeah.
But everybody had Aladdin-type pants in the 80s.
At that time,
were they
everyone
hammer
did.
pants? Were they?
I was basing it more on Aladdin, but Aladdin pants were hammer pants. So let's just be honest here.
So his mom just got pulled off, or his Earth 2 mom got pulled off. His Earth 2 dad, is all ticked off that they're leaving her behind and is holding a gun to Constantine's head, and he's like, "Look, I don't care if you guys hate me. I don't care if you guys murder me. As soon as we get to Earth 0, just let me get you there. You guys are going to live. That's all I care about right now. All I care is about making sure that you guys survive." And his dad ends up trying to commit suicide. Constantine stops him from doing... Things are not going well for John Constantine, really, in his effort to be a good guy. They end up passing through a whole bunch of other places. The Red, the Green, the Rot. As I said, all the subplanes that aren't actually separate Earths, but they end up passing through them anyway. And finally, they reach space. They go out into space and they're outside of Earth 0. They're on these little platforms with air, I guess, and atmosphere above them. And there's a couple other survivors that he had pulled out as well. When a god who has been chasing down Constantine through his little jumps, through all the little subzones, reaches out, this giant hand reaches out from the portal that's there and starts grabbing for him, trying to find him, just kind of groping mindlessly. And that's when he just cuts off all the ties of the other survivors except his family, just sacrifices them. I don't care. I'm a horrible, horrible human being, but I have to do this, but it is of no use. The portal stays open, and this god starts reaching through and climbing through the portal itself, and Constantine goes, well, there's only one thing I can do. I'm going to have to pull off my greatest con job ever. One last trick. I need to con this god. This god who happens to be a new god by the name of Darkseid. That's a strong way to end a series.
Yeah.
With John Constantine having to pull off a con against Darkseid to save...
Being the end of the series, probably not going to go too well.
No, probably not. This entire... I've said it before, this Earth 2 crossover with him going to Earth 2 and, oh, look at me, I'm going to deal with this whole Earth 2 World's End stuff that's going on with Darkseid and Apocalypse and New Gods and everything. Should not work for Constantine on paper. Should not work at all, but this has been the closest to him having a real reason to be a hero, I guess, because he's trying to save these people that aren't his friends and family, but they're the vestiges of what could have been, and that's all he wants to do is save them. It gives him a solid reason to be a hero. He's not being self-serving. He has a reason to sacrifice himself, but at the same time, he's kind of screwing everyone else over in the process, and it's still not working out for him. A lot of it has to do with him conning himself into believing that he is a hero, he can do it, and it's very well written, very well done. I'm surprised. I don't mean that to be an insult, but I am surprised it is working out as well as it is just from those shortcomings as I expected with Earth 2, John Constantine. It shouldn't work on paper.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's fun. It's going to be a strong ending. That's for damn sure. That's what it looks like. So, go ahead, do your thing.
All right.
You've been chomping at the bit for like 5 minutes now.
Justice League 3000 number 14.
Kelly, what do you know about Justice League 3000?
That Brian really likes it and wanted it to be the first spot and had a big long conversation with you the other day about it, and you said no.
And then I slapped him, remember?
Yeah.
Because he was getting all like feisty.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much all I can think of.
Yeah. But you don't know anything about the book itself.
In the future, it's in the year 3000.
You can take a wild stab, maybe.
Super douche, nothing.
Oh, yeah, that.
Okay.
Thank you for bringing everyone up to speed, Kelly.
First off, guest start by Andy Kuhn. He's awesome. He created Fire Breather.
Oh, okay. I don't know who that is, so.
It was an Image character that debuted around the same time as Invincible. Didn't last as long as Invincible did at all.
Poor guy.
Yeah. But it was cool. So, very first thing on the title page where they're, giving the little credits for everybody.
Yes.
Just when you thought you knew the DC universe, here comes Keith Giffen and J.M. DeMatteis to screw it all up again.
Yep. And they really do a good job of it because this could take place a lot of different places now.
Yep.
So they have their fun.
I know you said that there's an interview. He's like, yeah, it doesn't take place in the New 52. He just threw it, even though it says on the cover, yeah, it doesn't. Ignore that.
It does, kind of.
Sort of.
Because we've established there's a multiverse in the New 52, so, I mean, it's part of the New 52,
yes,
just
that New
somewhere
52.
else.
Yes. So Terry Flash and Super Douche bring back Ice to Camelot, and Ariel Winters is not happy that the super genius she brought back to life is now an overpositive ADD case a la Barry Allen.
Yes, it appears that their personalities are starting to bleed in via DNA.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly. It seems like they have a reason that they're going to explain it.
It's just science.
But the way they keep phrasing it, it's not just a write-off like, it just happens. It seems like it's an avenue they want to explore later.
Yeah.
And they just want it to be a slow build thing. Mm-hmm. So they're not just hand-waving and just going, personalities. We want to get them back to the way they were somehow, and that's just going to happen because of science.
Yes. So, to keep a low profile, Flash brings back Ice in a gigantic parade, and off in the alleyways, Lois Lane 3000 and Sinestro 3000 are watching all angry like ooh.
That's all you're going to say about that?
What else is there going to say?
Sinestro is wearing a puffy pirate shirt.
Yes, he is wearing a puffy shirt. They are dressed like they're at a Ren Fair, but that's because they're trying to hide on
It's
Camel.
Ren Fair Sinestro. How can you not just be like, oh my god?
Okay, yeah. They're on the planet Camelot 9. Everyone's kind of dressed like that.
Yes.
It's a little,
Yes, I know it matched in with everyone else, but I just had to laugh that he was wearing the puffy pirate shirt.
So it's kind of like the Doctor Who episode where they go to find Robin Hood in the Ren Fair.
I don't think I've seen that one.
One of the newer ones.
Oh, okay.
It's, what's his name? New guy.
New guy. Oh, yeah, new guy.
Guy from that show with all the swearing,
Deadwood?
Inside the Loop.
From Deadwood?
No. Anyway. Also, just to get this out of the way, because it also happens, Blue Beetle and Booster Gold are sent off to Cadmus World from Takran Galtos, and things are not looking good for them.
No,
because they appear right where, the other Terry is.
Yes, as well as what are they, the Injustice Gang? Injustice League, is that what they're calling themselves?
Whatever they are, yeah.
Yeah, the 5 that were there, the Fatal 5, and now they got dismantled, so now they're putting together the Injustice League of...
Yeah.
Sinestro, Bizarro. Is it Bizarro? No, it's...
I don't remember who it was.
Sinestro,
Lois Lane, like Ares, the god of war.
Yeah, it's like all their villains.
Yeah.
And Lois Lane.
Yeah, like Mirror Master, I think, was one of them.
Yes.
Lois Lane, the arch rival of Superman. So... Ice is there. She's talking about how this is so weird seeing the Justice League. I used to be on the Justice League, and Super Douche is less too inclined to believe her stories because she was on the crappy Justice League that had an old dwarf on the team. And Batman 3000's all like, hey, I think I was on that Justice League. And Super Douche goes, yeah, exactly. Wah, wah.
Who was the old dwarf they're talking about?
God, I've seen him in when George...
Was it the Dungeon Master from the old Dungeons and Dragons cartoon?
He kind of looked like that. I cannot remember what his name is for the life of me, but I know you would see him and they do the big, this is every Justice League member ever as drawn by George Perez. And you'd see this, what's that dude doing there?
I dropped my change.
Yep.
Oh, there was a picture here? I'm sorry.
Yep. So, Ice gives us the history of what happened before that led up to the current year 3000 they're in.
And why they don't remember anything from before a certain breakpoint.
Yeah, so we basically recapped the I Can't Believe It's Not the Justice League stories that I got for Father's Day last year.
Oh, right.
So I'm like, I've read all these things that you're referencing.
So those were actual...
Those are actual stories. There's the Justice League classified story after Grant Morrison's Seven Soldiers lead-in.
Okay.
And then there was another separate mini-series that explains the whole thing where Ice died and got sent to hell. Even though she's eternal, she got sent to hell for some reason.
Okay,
and
was apparently a case of mistaken identity according to this.
Yeah. And so Fire went down there to take her place. That led to all sorts of bad stuff happening, et cetera, et cetera. I'm really glossing over this.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
So Ice... She makes it back alive. Her best friend's down there. She's being tormented by Etrigan like she was. And so Ice exiles herself without her best friend to play with in a sleep chamber, just like the Blue Beetle and Booster Gold are in.
It's starting to make a little more sense now.
Yeah. And she wakes up after the Great Disaster.
Do you... pause real quick.
Yeah.
Do you think Booster Gold and Blue Beetle were chasing after her? They're like, well, when she wakes up, we'll wake up. And
that would be
convince
great.
her to come back.
Mm-hmm, yep. That seems like the kind of thing they would do. So she begins wandering the earth, comes across Commandy, kind of watches the human-animal wars as they go on.
Because there was some great calamity. She doesn't know what it was.
And the Great Disaster they've been referring to is the Great Disaster that Jack Kirby would refer to in his weird futuristic stuff like Commandy and the Atomic Knights.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's sort of the big reveal. Mind you, no one ever knew what the Great Disaster was.
And they're still keeping it hush hush, it seems.
Yeah, but we're just sort of we're working off the idea that this is the Jack Kirby Great Disaster that occurred with all that stuff.
So do you think this takes place on that Earth? The Earth 50?
It's certainly possible. They're dealing with Etrigan. That's another Kirby guy.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Kirby world.
Everything turns into yarn for some reason.
Yep. Just starts inhaling everything.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She goes off she watches the human-animal wars from the distance as they go on, helps out a little bit with the Atomic Knights, and then goes off to space and finds Camelot 9 to make a home for herself. And everything was fine until the demon Etrigan, the same demon that haunted her in hell. Isn't that very convenient? Shut up, Super Dude. He showed up, and then her friend Fire is also there, and she has become, she's gone full Stockholm Syndrome. She's one of his top warriors. She shares a bed with him.
Well, it's been 1,000 years now.
So she's and now we know that he's going to try to attack, the city that we're trying to defend. So Flash goes off to warn Wonder Woman that Etrigan is going to attack, And Wonder Woman knew that already. It's kind of my thing. Wars and whatnot.
We're at war. I can see the other army over there.
Yeah. I might still be the god of war,
But thanks for getting me into the issue so that I could tell everyone that I was knocking boots with this night guy.
Yeah. And so meanwhile, Etrigan watches on using his otherworldly evil powers to see everything, rhyming all the way when a voice suddenly says, your rhyming isn't very good. You're trying a little too hard at this. And the demon is just like, I killed you, I conquered you, just like I'm going to conquer the city. Just shut up, disembodied voice. And we pull out to see that the sarcastic voice is the head of Darkseid in a fish tank, who is advising Etrigan until he can figure out a way to rise up and destroy the universe one more time.
Wait, what?
Darkseid, he's like a Futurama head now.
Yeah, like a little head in a jar.
Yeah.
Just floating there. Right next to the other great villains, such as...
Richard Nixon. Beck.
No, I thought it was a great reveal for the end.
So we're just going full Kirby with everything, pretty much.
And it's so lighthearted fun. The whole thing is so much fun. Here's a question I have for you, because I haven't gone back. I don't have much history as far as the old school style. I don't want to say these writers are old school, but they have a couple years of experience under their belt. These guys have been at the game for quite some time, if I'm not mistaken. Is this how older comics were as far as... Because we're, 14 issues in? A lot of crap has happened. A lot of characters have rolled through.
Pre-decompression, like, your Marvel Knights era stuff. Yeah, that's kind of just how it was. Like, stuff would happen very quickly, and yeah.
Okay, I was just curious, because I
said, I will let you borrow those issues if I can't believe it's not the Justice League, and you will see just how unbelievably dense each issue is. It's ridiculous.
But that's just it. This doesn't
It's almost nothing but word balloons, but...
But this doesn't feel dense to me whatsoever, and that's why I'm asking, because to me, the pre-decompression era is, as you say, just pages of word bubbles with like a face peering out from in between two of them, or
no,
just
it's not even that. That's just how they were a little unchecked at that time, it would seem. Do whatever you want, really?
Okay. So I don't know. I was just curious if that was the old school style.
Yeah,
because
things seem to be moving forward a lot quicker than they used to with these guys, and that's kind of just how it used to be.
Fair enough.
Before everything was a 6-issue arc to fit the trade.
Yeah, because this one doesn't have the 6-issue arcs. It's just kind of doing its thing, and you can almost fit 2 issues into an arc a lot of the time. Yeah. And then it's just little mini arcs all over the place going on. And now we've gotten to a point where all the stories are kind of threaded, where they're just following each one of them a little bit. So.
Okay, I've got the next one too.
You do as well.
All right, Justice League United number 9.
Yes.
Oh God, look at that lineup page with the 29 Legion heads and 9 little Justice League United heads. So the Legion is taking over the book, and the main fight against, I don't know, like Infinitus, I think his name is.
Yep,
it's called the Infinitus Saga. I'm assuming it's Infinitus.
And that British guy.
Yeah. Yeah. So Green Arrow and Animal Man get 3 word balloons between them, but Bouncing Boy gets 2 showcase pages.
Oh, nice.
So that's the thing that happened.
Hey.
Good for him. Also, Polar Boy makes ice in the vacuum of space, and in the very next panel, Stargirl is super confused as to how Equinox can make ice in the vacuum of space. Supergirl fights Biff, and he's all creepy and wants to marry her, but she's just 16, making the Hell storyline even more uncomfortable.
She's only 17.
-1. Also, how'd she get to rent an apartment at that age with Shaban? This raises so many questions.
She had a legal guardian that signed it.
Who's also a banshee.
No, I was going to say Dr. Veritas signed.
No, probably. Dr. Veritas.
I was going to say, what world is she on? Is she in ours? Because the rules might be different.
Yeah, she's on Earth 0, so I mean it's relatively close to ours. Maybe that's the difference between Earth 0. It's not the superheroes, it's that at 16 you can actually sign a lease.
Yeah, I see.
So you can rent a car earlier than 25 as well?
Of course.
Just figured out,
We'll learn about that later in Klarion.
Okay.
So luckily,
how did I know?
Luckily, as Supergirl is having this fight, some Legion members come in and finish it for her.
Oh, phew.
Yeah, I know,
Thank
right?
goodness there's some backup.
I know. So Martian Manhunter, who's kind of fighting Ultra in his mind, decides, you know what? This is going on too long. Ultra, I'm very sorry. I know I said I was going to protect you no matter what, but I'm going to give you a lobotomy.
He
Just
was
reaches
sad
in there with
about
his,
it. You're making it sound very glib. He was very sad about it.
He was very sad, but because he's turning into this gigantic universe-destroying monster thing, he reaches into his brain and shuts it off. Steals his mind. Mind-taking!
Mental!
Yes!
Leaving poor little Ultra to be like...
Yeah.
Hurt his relationship with Mia Ben, I think, though.
Oh, yeah.
Not gonna be the same.
Not gonna be the same at all. But with no Infinitus there... that means the gigantic space bomb that Brainiac 5 made is now going to create a black hole with nothing left for it to destroy.
Oh.
Whoops.
Whoops.
So everyone's getting sucked into a black hole. Good job there, Legion.
So there's probably, we just got done doing Jail 3000.
Yeah.
There's probably just as many, if not more, characters in Justice League 3000 as far as them being introduced and just having little one-panel cameos and popping up. Why does that feel so much more different than this? Because this just feels like, blah, we've just swarmed your book, and the Legion just swarms, and then like Locust flies off into the future again. And it's not the creative team, because we've been unabashed fans of Lemire's work before. I just don't know what it is about this particular
something that's
arc.
just not clicking at all.
No, and I don't know. I'm trying to find it. That's why I'm asking you. What is it?
Because we just don't care for the Legion. Like, I understand, like, there's like these little showcase panels. It's like, oh, here's why Bouncing Boy is cool. But at the same time, it's like he's got his cool, he actually has like a Kirby dash attack power or whatever in this.
He does.
But he also still looks dumb as heck. It's like the artist, God bless him, he's doing a great job, but every time someone tries to draw a fat guy in a comic, it just looks like a muscular dude with like an extra chin.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
Like, at least in the cartoon show, they literally made Bouncing Boy a ball with arms and legs.
That was it? Just a ball with arms and legs?
Well, I mean, there was more to it than that, but that was kind of the design, and it worked really well. And it's one of those things like, hey, if everyone's just like weird alien people, why don't you just, do that?
Is he supposed to be human?
I don't know. Everyone's from a...
Jeez, man, so much disdain in your voice there.
Everyone's from a different planet, but they all look like humans, except they've got like different colored hair or whatever,
Okay, fair enough. Brainiac's green.
Yeah.
That's pretty different. That's jarring.
Yes.
Looks just like a human being, but he's green with little antenna things on his head. Does he have antenna things on his head?
No, that's Chameleon Boy.
Okay, I'm sorry.
He's just got
how did I get Legionnaires mixed up?
I know, right?
Because they're really easy to get mixed up because they're kind of lame.
They should get that duck-billed platypus on their team.
That'd be much more
mixed
interesting.
up.
Yep.
All
What's
right.
this Beaver Duck doing over here?
I feel bad. Beaver Boy? Is that what his name is?
Beaver Duck.
Okay, fair enough.
That's the Earth representative in the Legion of Superheroes. Get Beaver Duck over here. He's got these amazing powers.
He's
got to poison his barb. He's got to poison his barb on his back leg. What's up with that? Secretes milk. You're so weird, platypi.
It's just very lactose intolerant enemies, and he just goes, man. They go, I'm very uncomfortable right now.
A little bloated.
So as I said, I feel bad because I don't want to beat up the book. It's got redeeming qualities to it. It's just something's not clicking it right now, and it's just,
all the characters we've been following for the past however many issues stopped doing anything in their own book.
Well,
that's my main thing.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I don't know. We're not going to dogpile on it though. Next up, World's Finest number 31. What's that smirk for, Brian?
Segues.
But let's talk about Earth 2. I feel like we never talk about Earth 2.
There's only like 5 comics coming out right now that are devoted to it.
Yeah,
I feel like all we do is talk about Earth 2.
Well, it's ending. They're getting into the last hurrah type thing. This stuff is the prequel stuff, though. The stuff that took place before Earth 2 number 1. Like before Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman died. Well, died in Superman's case, I'll say.
Quotation fingers.
This time, though, we're dealing with the right before Darkseid launches his first attack against Earth 2 and Earth 0, like his big first multiversal attack against all the Earths, where all of the satellites above Earth 2 are crashing into the cities. They're just falling from space and crashing into the cities. And Lois Lane, she thinks this could be a good story for the Daily Planet. Could be.
Could be.
Could very well be. Luckily, even though communications are down across
Does
the
the
planet.
Daily Planet have to change their logo when there's the giant crack came into the Earth? Did they have to go and someone had to chip away at that big globe at the top of the building?
Some poor guy
Gotta be accurate.
I gotta carve all these fire pits into it. People roasting marshmallows over the Daily Planet fire pits. Usual thing. In this case, though, she's just gonna, even though all communications are out, she knows all the other cities are also being hit. Somehow, I'm gonna say Daily Planet magic knowledge. So let's go check out one of the other cities like Gotham, where Catwoman and Helena Wayne, her daughter, are having a pun off on who can say cat-like things more than the other.
Meow, you've done it.
That's a bad growl, Mama Cat. Oh, don't worry about it, baby cat. I'll keep you protected. You can nestle up to me. And it's like, guys, we get it. You have the whole motif in the costumes already. You don't have to say those things all the time.
Yeah, they do.
It's a catastrophe.
So they're out there trying to save the citizens as all these satellites are crashing down. But luckily, as the buildings are even toppling over, they just see a red and blue streak. They assume it's Superman saving them, but it's Supergirl out there for her first time trying to help out. It's right before those two meet for the first time, because it's not until Catwoman dies that Supergirl and Huntress actually meet for the first time. So it's basically like a foreshadowing of Helena Wayne going, oh man, it's so great that there's someone like that out there to help keep me safe. Anyway, Supergirl returns home, back to the little island place that she was staying at that Superman built for her. And unfortunately, there's guests there waiting for her. There's a new god by the name of Intry, who has boom-tubed in, looks around, goes, hey, Superman was supposed to be here so I could ask him to join Darkseid for quite literally the 7th time now.
I just backed away from the microphone. Finish the book.
But instead, Supergirl is there, goes to attack her, Intry just blasts her, and walks away. It's like, hey, you're beneath my care. I'll be back next month, I guess, to try to find Superman again. So, foreshadow. Is there a line of foreshadowing?
Is that 8 shadowing? 12 shadowing?
You can only have a recurring thing happen so many times before it's understood, I think.
Yeah.
I think we understand. Mm-hmm. Even the second time when it was Superman as a kid, and then when he was older as a teenager, we could assume, we could even get the one more when he's adult. Like, okay, now he's an adult and it's still happening. I think after that, we're good. We understand this new god that works for Darkseid is trying to recruit Superman of Earth 2. Kelly, do you understand this? Do you understand that there's someone named Intry trying to recruit Superman to Earth, to Darkseid's cause?
Why?
I don't know, to be a general or something. A generalissimo. I would assume Darkseid would call his generals generalissimos.
Yes.
That sounds...
And Generalissimo Francisco Franco is still dead.
Oh.
So.
Well, that's good, I guess. So let's zip back to Metropolis, where as Superman is saving the day, Lois Lane, in her effort to get the story, grabs one of the survivors and says, hey, you know what's going on here as far as bad stuff. You should come on TV back at the Daily Planet, which I guess is also a television station.
Sometimes it was a television station, depending on how current they were trying to be.
Okay, well, all the satellites have fallen out of the sky, so I don't know exactly what she's going to do with them regardless. And she takes him to the Daily Planet where the armed guards are standing out front saying, sorry, the building's off limit. And she goes, but I'm plucky Lois Lane. And they go, oh, we can't stop you. And she just takes this random civilian into the roped off building to film a TV interview at a non-television station where there are no satellites in the sky to broadcast said interview. Unfortunately, this is how she dies. Because as we saw in one of the earlier issues, it's while she's doing an interview at the Daily Planet that the apocalypse actually attacks, and that's where she ends up dying. And even the last page is, little did I know that this would be my last act. And I was like, that's gotta suck for your last act to be so goddamn pointless. So,
I've got this interview with the cast of The Middle. I've got to go to.
I just feel bad. There's so much. There was actually some good stuff in this. Remember before where I said there was all the subtle, here's the links of these characters before we got to Earth 2 where these things weren't really explored. This one was really rough around the edges, and those pages dealing with Intry, aren't needed anymore. They're really not needed unless you're going to actually move that plot line forward. So who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll see. If only someone would just get rid of Earth 2.
I know,
I
right?
think it's just causing way too many problems here. Oh, wait!
Hey.
Next up, Earth 2, World's End, number 19. That's fairly convenient for me. Speaking of unexplainable things.
Okay.
Alan Scott is
This
trying...
is a fun episode, isn't it?
It is. Alan Scott's trying to save the Parliament of Earth. Remember, they have like the whole Captain Planet Parliament?
Yeah.
Where it's Earth, Wind, Water, Fire, and all that crap. And
No heart.
No heart whatsoever.
Look
Because
at you, Mati.
the death spawn of Apocalypse, Darkseid's baby that he had with a Martian, is boring. I know. I'm saying this stuff with a straight face. I'm trying so hard. The death spawn is drilling its way into the core of Earth 2 in order to tenderize it so that when Apocalypse opens up its giant mouth, it can easily chew up Earth 2.
He's like an aerator or something.
Sure. He's the flavor bit. He's a flavor crystal that bores into the middle of planet. Because of his boring, though, earthquakes are striking atoms.
Wait, you mean something's boring in World's End? USA, USA.
It was so boring that I left to go steal candy from
I know. Not only did you walk away from the podcast, you stole my food as well. And that's more interesting to us right now.
I'm eating the heart that there is none of.
You know what? We're being mean.
Okay.
We should stop being so
Okay.
mean. Let's dial it back a second. Earthquakes are striking Atom's Haven because of the death spawn crawling into his crunchy flavor crystal position. Ted Grant and Dick Grayson are there because Dick Grayson's still looking for his son that he oh so brightly handed off to John Constantine to keep safe before he went and fought a bunch of gang people. Unfortunately, they're unable to find him, but we do see that all of the compatriots that Constantine had surrounded himself with, who is it, like Mindbender, I think, or Obsidian,
Mentok, the Mind Taker.
Mentok, the Mind Taker, whatever. It's all those characters are also at Atom's Haven, and they are trying to hide from those two. So I'm assuming they're trying to abduct Dick Grayson's child, or they lost the kid, and they don't want to actually tell him that they lost him, or something, but they're actively trying to hide from him. Meanwhile, Olsen's 11 launch their own spaceship that Mr. Terrific just built from spare parts in order to go up into space and steal the giant space ark so that they can try to get the surviving Earthlings of Earth 2 off of it before it is destroyed. The team that's going into space, Sandman, Mr. Terrific, Mr. Miracle, and Fury. So Olsen's 11 have split up. Those four are going off into space. They make it to the ark, but Terry Sloan has surrounded it with space mines. These little mines that kind of like fly and stick to the ship. And they're kind of a distance away from the Ark ship when all of the mines attach to their rocket and explode. And what is more dramatic than leaping from an explosion right before it kills you?
Not looking back.
Well, there's that.
Cool guys don't look at explosions.
I know that, but you do it in space.
Yeah.
And Mr. Miracle's like, how are we going to do this? Because we got two humans and we're in the vacuum of space. And we got a little ways to go to get over to that other spaceship. And Fury just goes, they're tougher than they look. They'll be fine. Fury is kind of like the bad pet owner that is just like dragging these people that do not have the same physiology as a new god off into situations. She's like the Elmira of the DCU right now. Just kind of like, come on, little humans, you'll be fine over here. And their eyes are just popping out of their head. Just blood boiling, radiation poisoning, all these things. But hey, positive thinking. They're tougher than they look. They'll be fine. Meanwhile, Thomas Wayne and Helena Wayne. Thomas Wayne, remember, being Batman on Earth 2 now that Bruce Wayne is dead. I'm sure he's dead, never to be seen again. They're off trying to find Green Arrow because Bruce Wayne had left something in his will to his daughter saying that she has that Green Arrow has something that she will need to save the planet Earth. And as they're digging through Terry Sloan's house to try to find information on where Green Arrow is hiding, Apocalypse the planet pulls up real close like to Earth 2, and it doesn't like a cold meal. So it starts using its fire pits to incinerate the surface of Earth 2. because it likes it to be a little cooked. How is this planet not just gone? How is it not just gone? There's literally a huge chunk out of the side of it. Fire pits erupting all over the place. They've hollowed out the center of the planet to house people. I'm sorry. It's just, maybe this series shouldn't be as long as it is right now.
After you mentioned Elmira, I just started thinking about how we could bring Freakazoid into DC new continuity.
Wouldn't that be Ambush Bug?
Maybe.
Isn't he like the weird, aware of the fourth wall type character?
No, he's got internet powers.
He's got internet powers?
Yes.
Okay.
Like late 90s internet powers, but internet powers nonetheless.
Well, does he just make weird boring, crying,
A little bit, yeah.
whenever he does anything?
Sometimes he does a Jerry Lewis impression, you know.
Wrap up this half, man. Just
Okay.
save me from myself, because my first half was not... Constantine was really good this week. That's what I'm going to say about my first half.
Okay. Well, you know what? Let's go 5 years in the future.
5 years in the future.
Future's at number 41. So Galactiac, the giant Brainiac, who's the real Brainiac this time, for realsies, we mean it, is attacking New York City, and a gigantic pink dome is being built with his giant spheres that are not U-spheres.
That's because Brainiac wants people to be aware of breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he's doing it that way. Is the dome shaped like a big boob?
Kind of, yes. Kind of.
Sigh.
So, Lois...
I don't think you could hear my eyes rolling as much as they are.
Hey, ever since Caitlin Snow said it that way, that's the only way I can pronounce it.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying I need to roll my eyes a little harder if you can't hear them.
So Lois Lane looks on and wonders if she will ever blog again.
Is this a story? Should she be reporting this for the Daily Planet?
She could be. So, oh yes, Superman tries to punch Brainiac in his balls, waka waka, but gets kicked out of the dome for trying.
You were using a little double entendre
Yes.
there, weren't you? Okay.
Entendre. All right. In space, Hawkman tries
No one
to...
can hear you scream.
Yeah, well, we're gonna get to that. Hawkman tries to save his girlfriend, the robot engineer, who is now evil and piloting a Brainiac Epcot ship. And as he's trying to do that, he accidentally flies into the multiverse, freaks out, starts devolving into his past self, and fades away silently. Continuity hates you, Hawkman.
What the hell?
As soon as he flew into continuity, get him out.
Yeah,
Get him
out. Hawkman has a notoriously messed up backstory because people are constantly changing it, and they can't get him to work in continuity ever. So the fact that he's the first person to fly into like the continuity stream and just immediately dies, kind of funny, kind of fitting.
I thought the cartoon did a good job, but he was the second
Cartoon did a
fiddle.
good job.
He wasn't the main hero. It was Hawk Girl that was the main hero, and he was the side character attached to it.
And in Justice Society, back in the olden days, Jeff Johns did a great job bringing him back and unifying everything and making it work.
Was that the Hawk World stuff?
No, it wasn't Hawk World. This is just, hey, we're going to make him more like a regular old superhero. Here's a unified backstory. And then the first chance he got, Jim Starlin said, no, I like it better this other way. Starlin! I like it better the original way. No one could possibly improve on the classics. We're just being awful today, aren't we?
We are kind of being bitter. Love is in the air.
that free comic book day Guardians issue, very first thing that happened, Drax turned into old Drax. Come on.
He likes his stuff, man.
I guess.
You have to admit, if that's his thing, you know that when you bring him on to do a book.
Yeah.
Maybe they want to have introduce people to some of the previous iterations of these teams and characters, so that way when they do go back, it's not as jarring when it's a shift over. There's plenty of marketing reasons behind why you would want that to happen.
Okay.
So let's not punch people in their proverbial faces here.
So, at Terrific Tech, Batman almost calls former Red Robin Tim Drake Robin, even though he has to remind him that, as we all know, he is currently living under the name Bumpus Blatherskite.
This book's almost over, isn't it? We're close to the end. I don't have to hear this anymore.
Batman.
He'll make sure that you do. I mean, we see each other a lot.
Batman splits off to go see Mr. Terrific, who's going a little Stockholm with the Brother Eye voice.
Yeah,
he's been talking to.
A little bit.
And
is that Brother Eye or is it Brainiac disguised as Brother Eye?
Could be. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
We're just going to go off of that because that's what we've been doing. Because he's been using I instead of the letter I.
All right. Well, so, that's not that difficult to do.
I know. I know. So, Bumpus and Plastique go head off to an elevator to get stalked by the evil robot bug, Plastique, that Mr. Terrific was keeping in the building. Although, I gotta say, I could just read, like, an entire issue where, former Red Robin Tim Drake.
You don't remember his name.
Bumpus Blatherskite, thank you.
It.
I was trying to make it easier. I could just watch him, like, kind of poking his head down from in the hole on top of an elevator and talk to Plastique an entire issue.
That was a very
something about that visual was just fantastic. So Firestorm, Dr. Yamakaze, and Shazamperman make their way down to New York as a regular Superman makes his way back in the dome before it closes. The Brainiac spaceship sends down a gigantic laser to the dome using the same kind of like energy powers that...
Wait. Did 50 Sue get into the dome before it closed? This is our only chance of bringing her over. Did she make it
She can
inside?
do whatever she wants. We haven't gotten there yet, and
Okay.
we didn't check in with them at all this issue.
Okay.
So there's
I
still a
hope they
chance.
were at that restaurant, wherever they were eating, is inside Metropolis, and now they're stuck in the dome, so we can bring them over somehow.
Yes, I know. So the Brainiac spaceship sends down this gigantic pink laser. That's also the same thing that Hawkman accidentally threw
Breast
into.
cancer!
So it's like a continuity slash breast cancer laser. Sends it down to the dome, frying the atom in the process. And all the craps are about to hit the fan, so much so that next week's issue looks like it's drawn with like a Bic stick. I don't know.
Sure. Something I have to say though, that little splash panel when Hawkman flew into and he saw all of the multiverse that Brainiac had trapped
It's so beautiful.
inside.
They should have sent a poet.
One of the things that Brainiac has in there is Adam West.
Batman, yes.
From 66.
Yes, Adam West. Yeah, I did want to mention that before we closed out. I'm glad you brought it up.
Holy crap, if we get a Convergence issue where the grim and gritty comics versions of the villains and everything meet Adam West.
Like
Batman.
running around with a gigantic cartoon bomb.
in the background. That is such an easily written issue.
Oh,
that
I know.
Will be so much fun. I am hoping that's what we get, something like that out of it.
Damian Wayne punches his fist into his open palm a lot. I would love for him to meet Burt Ward, and they just do that next to each other.
We find out that Damian Wayne actually isn't Bruce's son, but Burt Ward's. It's all genetic.
Yep.
It's all genetic, as we learned in JL 3000. All your idiosyncrasies are genetic. So much fun. This book really, I am so happy to report that it turned that corner after Future's End Month and has been just a joy to read since. And, no signs of stopping whatsoever.
No. At least for next, like, another 7 issues or so.
Yes, but
then it's going to stop. But.
It's a setup for another thing. It'll be like your, what was it called? Your, Murder World stuff with the Avengers, the Kid Avengers arcade trying to kill them all.
Avengers Arena?
Yeah. And then that spun off
into Avengers Undercover.
Yeah, so I mean, it ended. You were sad it ended because you enjoyed it, but it had a direct launch into something else. It had a full
story, yes.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to get. It's going to jump
then Undercover got
and
canceled early and didn't really get to finish, but
I know that was your thing. That was all why I was saying.
Yeah.
It'll be similar. Why am I explaining how comics work to you?
He's the eminence of comics.
I know. He's also the less prepared Lothario, as I called him today.
Yes.
So, what do you got coming up for round 2?
I've got Secret Six, Green Lantern Corps, and Klarion.
And I have Batman Eternal number 45, Harley Quinn's Valentine's Day special number 1.
I can't wait for the Harley Quinn Arbor Day special.
It's going to be great. It won't be on paper because we have to respect trees. It's only going to be digital. Wait, did that work? Yeah, sure. And then I'll wrap it up with Suicide Squad.
You have to burn down trees to get the energy to run the computer, but hey, we're saving trees.
So hold on a couple seconds. We'll be right back to go through those books.
These 3 words mean you're getting busy. Whoop, there it is. Check it. These 3 words mean you're getting busy.
Fine, why?
Was just curious.
Okay.
We're just, hanging out here, not doing anything. I'm just talking into the microphone for no reason whatsoever. Yep. Not gonna click that mouse. You can't make
I'm
me.
not gonna do it. Nope.
Yep.
And we're back!
No! We were back like a minute and a half ago. Damn it. I have to figure out a way around this. Hey, we are back, actually. I'm continuing my cunning ruse to try to make it so they don't come back from break with screaming that into the microphone. Real quick, before we move on, I'm going to blame our bitterness for this week on the bitter cold outside because we are in the negatives. It is really, really cold. So just take our snark with a grain of salt. We're going to try to be nicer this second half,
If you have
right?
that grain of salt, can you come so we can de-ice our driveways?
Yes, please. We have nothing but positive things for the second half, right? Nothing but positive things.
Yeah, sure.
Because I have Batman Eternal number 45, and I got positive things to say here. Positive. I'm positive that Batman's going to be in it.
Yes.
I'm positive. Batman was having some issues at the end of last issue. That was a lot of issues.
Yeah.
Remember what was going on? Does anyone remember? It was last week. It's only been a week. Come on, Kel. Give me something here. What was happening to Batman at the end of last week's issue?
In which book?
In Batman Eternal.
There's a lot of Batman books.
He was at the airport. He was chasing down Professor Milo.
Was he being chased by zombies? Oh wait, no, that was the Warm Bodies that I was watching. Okay,
it was close. It was ghosts.
Ghosts. Okay.
Ghosts were coming up out of the ground and claiming that they knew the truth. They had the answer to what we all want to know. Who is behind all this? It's a psych out. It's not the truth. It's not who's behind it. Because do you remember the guy, Mr. Bygone? The newly created
guy who has the power to make bygones be gone. Bygones.
Yes. He is a person that Professor Milo was testing out all of his new magic science mix stuff on, and now can summon ghosts, and he is trying to get revenge on Professor Milo, but he can't control the ghosts whatsoever, and Batman decides to solve that situation by punching Mr. Bygone in the face, and that's the end of that. Yay! No more Mr. Bygone, I guess.
Oh well. We hardly knew ye.
So he killed him by punching him
No,
in the
he just
face?
knocked him out, and then the ghosts dissipate, but the guards come out because remember, Batman's still on the lam, he's still a bad guy to the city, and he ends up throwing down a smoke bomb and disappearing with both Professor Milo as well as Mr. Bygone. Speaking of ghosts, though, and that the real important part in this issue, Luke Fox is leaping around his apartment with his little nth metal gauntlet on and his full Batwing suit, punching out all of the ghosts that are in his apartment. He is the most angry Ghostbuster who has ever lived, and he's complaining about how he can't sleep still, and, oh, I hate this stuff. Not even a week ago, I didn't even believe in ghosts. And as he is punching out ghosts, a man by the name of Jim Corrigan comes to the door. I know. And the first thing he says, instantly, I want this so bad. When we first met, Batwing, I told you that you can't just punch your ghosts away. I'm a man who can admit when he's wrong. Love it. Love it. Love it. And he comes in and he apologizes for the whole Arkham thing. Look, man, I know that's not your deal. I know these ghosts aren't really your bag. I'm sorry. I wasn't deserting you. I was trapped underneath all that stuff as well. If I could have got free, I would have came save you as soon as I could. Batwing's like, it's cool. I signed on for this. I understood it was going to be weird, but I didn't know it was going to be this weird, but I knew it was going to be weird. So I just need to learn how to fight these ghosts myself. If these are the threats that are out there, Brian, I need a teacher of some sort so that I know how to handle all of these ghosts and creepy crawlies in the night. What if I ran across a shadow with an odd vegetable heart that was like a lamprey heart sticking out? What would I do? I bet you Jim Corrigan knows some people that know what to do. Mm-hmm. I bet you he does. Oh, God, if this gets Batwing on that book, that's going to be so great. So they end up getting a call from Batwing who says, hey, I captured Professor Milo. He's doing a bunch of magic stuff, so guess who I called? Batwing? No, you, Corrigan. Come on over here. Those two head over, and the way the panels are done, it's in the forefront, Batman and Batwing talking to each other, and Batman like, holy crap, man, I did not know it was that bad at Arkham. I would not have sent you in if I knew it was all this weird, creepy magic stuff. Well, all that crap going on. But in the background, it's Jim Corrigan interrogating Professor Milo and like little shadow things. And it's these like weird caricatures of like Corrigan just yelling at him, shaking his fist, and then Professor Milo like squirming down and then
You're missing some amazing acting from Sean here.
But then the last panel is all of a sudden Jim Corrigan is just punching Milo in the face, and that's when both the Bat members go, "What the hell is that for?" He's like, "That guy is really annoying."
I was hoping his hand started glowing, but oh well.
Nope. But he tells him what he found out, that it was some sort of dream vampire. Someone in a dream came to...
Oh, the dream vampire.
You know, like you have them. Someone came to Professor Milo in a dream, and all he remembers is that some bird told him it would grant his wish. And Batman's like, "What kind of bird was it?" Just asking if it could have been an owl, maybe, of some sort. And Corrigan's like, "I don't know, man. A dream bird, a soul bird. It could have been any kind of bird." And they go, "Okay, well, fine. Let's all meet back at the cave, and we'll figure out what we're gonna do next." Soul birds? I don't even know what that is. Elsewhere, Harper Row has caught Stephanie Brown and is holding her at gunpoint with her taser rifle that she has there, and is basically saying, "Look, I understand you don't trust us. You saw Bruce Wayne giving out orders to your dad in family gang night. Now, I understand why you wouldn't want to work with us, but understand we're trying to keep you safe. We want to keep you alive. We're going to get you out of town because, well, I think you're kind of cool." And Harper Row jumps away, and poor Stephanie Brown is stuck sitting there going, "Do I trust these people or do I not?" But back in the Batcave, we wrap up what obviously has to be who is behind all of this. We've never been psyched out before whatsoever, so this has to be it, because Bruce Wayne and Julia Pennyworth have gone through all of after Wayne Enterprises got bought out by the government and split up into all these little subsidiaries, some companies have been buying out all of the little pieces of Wayne Enterprises, and they trace it back to all these shell companies that all have the names of Arabic demons. And Batman goes, "Oh, that guy promised he'd stay out of all this. I hate that guy." Pack the bags, Julia. We have to fly over there because I have to go see Ra's al Ghul. Surely Ra's al Ghul is the one behind all of this.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Totally.
We've never
Couldn't
been
be
psyched
anyone
out.
else.
I think it's just a ploy to get him out of the way.
Ra's al Ghul?
No, to get, Batman to leave.
What was the book that you said was like the greatest hits of Batman?
Hush?
Hush, yes. Is that what we're getting right now, do you think? Where we're getting kind of a greatest hits of a lot of his big villains, and they're just at least popping in for this run?
Lots
I
of
suppose
cameos.
to a certain extent. Seems to
It's
be
the
better
same-
written, if anything.
Well, no, it's the same premise, because wasn't the whole thing in Hush was who's behind all of this? Who's the one pulling all the strings? Who? It was like a mystery,
It was
wasn't
supposed to be
it?
Hush, and then it just turned out that Hush was someone's henchman.
Okay, gotcha.
So,
I'm going off secondhand knowledge
Yeah.
of what you've told me. So
and you keep trying to say, don't spoil it. I'm going to read it one of these days, and you still haven't. Mind you, I keep burning all the trades that you buy.
Well, that's why I haven't read it, because there's that pile of ash in the corner where you just keep burning the trade whenever I buy it.
Doing you a favor.
But yeah, it's still very well written. It's still very fun. That Batwing stuff, I swear to God, if we get him over to Gotham by Midnight,
I'm not sure if I want anyone messing with my Gotham by Midnight, but you know what? Whatever.
it'll give it some legitimacy, I guess. He's got a Bat member on the team then.
It's already awesome, though.
I know it's already awesome, but Batwing as an angry Ghostbuster just
I
punching
suppose,
ghosts in
yeah.
the face? Come on!
Right.
Do you remember what we liked about Batwing?
Wacky, fun, happy, jumping around, making jokes,
In weird situations.
fighting animal-based villains.
I mean, when you think back, the first iteration of Batwing, when it was taking place in Africa, was dark. I mean, you can make fun of it and go lol grimdark all you want, but it was him as a former child soldier fighting off all of the warlords of Africa as they were tearing apart the entire
the entirety
community.
of Africa.
Well, I mean, they were pretty much tearing apart most of Africa at the time.
Okay.
In that case, it was Congo, I believe, but
Yeah.
it had an ocean worth of stories right there that could be told. You can't say it didn't. When it switched over to Luke Fox, it was, okay, I'm going to try out this whole thing. What? What's this lion mane guy? He's half lion, half man, mostly lion. Okay, fine. Marabunta Ant Soldier? What is this? I didn't sign up for this. I thought Batman just skulked on gargoyles in Gotham. It was just very him in an environment that he didn't fit in whatsoever.
And then it got very sad.
Well, yeah, it turned grimdark again. Again, I think they were just trying to find something to keep that book alive, but I think he would fit in the Gotham by Midnight because of that reason. He doesn't fit in. It's not his world. He's still kind of jokey, but it'll just be this weird little dichotomy of him not working. So I know you don't want any peanut butter in your chocolate.
I know.
But I'm just saying it could work. Next up, go.
It's you.
Is it me?
Yeah.
God, why did I do that to myself? Harley Quinn Valentine's Day Special number 1.
Yeah.
Kelly, what do you think? Why do you guys hate the fun books?
I just don't like Harley Quinn.
How do you not like Harley Quinn? She's an icon.
I don't like her.
Okay. Why do you not like Harley Quinn?
I have my reasons, and I'm not getting into it. Because I don't feel like being, flamed by people for, being a hater. So, yeah.
Kelly's a hater?
Yes.
How can she be sunshine, rainbows, and effervescent and bubbly if she's a hater?
Exactly.
Fair enough. The premise behind this book is that Bruce Wayne is auctioning himself off to the highest bidder for charity in New York City. And Harley Quinn gets word of it and wants to go out with a hunk of burning love named Bruce Wayne, at least for one date. So she sets up a robbery. I don't know if you guys are going to understand this. There's some people on Wall Street that may have wronged the little man. They may have wronged Main Street.
Is there a way I can occupy this idea?
You could occupy this, but in this case...
Is the movement involved at all?
No, they're not, actually. Okay. They're going after a guy by the name of Barney Runoff. I don't know who he's supposed to be. Surely no one by the name of Madoff.
Nope.
Nope. Very heavy-handed. So heavy-handed. In their Wall Street people are bad.
Yeah.
They're just all bad. They're evil people. Before she goes off to the robbery,
they start pounding themselves in the chest for no reason.
Yeah, that's how they do it.
Yeah.
Before she goes off to have this robbery, she does have a dream where she goes sleep the night prior. That's kind of their little thing in this, is that whenever she falls asleep or gets knocked out, she has a little dream so they can tell a little sub-story with a different artist. It even has it in there. Hey, we wanted to try out some different artistic styles, so dream sequence,
At least they're upfront about it.
Yeah, they're very upfront about it. You can't fault them for it. In the first one, it's she and Bruce get together, but Bruce is super clingy and apparently wants to cut out the middleman and have 18 kids, like set up a Robin factory, I assume, so he could just mass produce them. But she doesn't want to do that for obvious reasons. Kelly, would you be down with shooting out 18 kids?
No, I'm done with one.
Well, you're already done then, I guess. Good job.
Yep. Never again. Not unless divine intervention happens.
And we don't want to tell Kelly about Mother of Champions.
No.
Me and pregnancy did not go well together. Just put it that way.
Were you so much happier then?
Oh, yeah. I was a peach to be around.
So basically, you pregnant is like your sister normally.
No,
she's not here. She's not going to listen to this.
No, me pregnant is like Beth pregnant.
No, Beth pregnant was head spinning around, stabbing people. I have scars from Beth pregnant.
I was going to say that sounds like me pregnant. I was not a happy pregnant person.
Well, apparently Harley Quinn also not happy with the being pregnant, so she just goes no and wakes up, and they go off and have their little robbery caper against Barney Madoff and just knock him in the head with mallets and break his stuff and steal his money. And we showed those Wall Street people. By the way,
Barney, my pebbles.
They're evil people, those Wall Street people. Just in case you don't know that, just in case. She makes her way to the charity auction though, all dressed up in a new gown, and is going to try to win that auction. Unbeknownst to her, though, villainy is afoot because the Carp and Sea
Robin. Not the
entire
person is just a foot?
It's just a foot. The Carp and Sea Robin are also planning to rob this charity auction so that they can set the Carp and Sea Robin. I was surprised you let that slide myself. They want to rob the charity so they can buy land in Florida to set up a fish conservatory because all of the carp in New York City's harbors are being killed off by the chemical runoffs and shipping lanes and etc. Someone needs to stand up for the carp. Someone needs to do it, and the carp is the one that's gonna do it. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Harley
Does the
Quinn.
carp have a gun?
No, he doesn't.
So he does no carp shooting.
Well, actually, oi.
USA. USA.
No, I take away points for that one. They end up going to the auction just as Harley Quinn wins the auction for Bruce Wayne, and Bruce Wayne obviously immediately recognizes her and goes, "Oh my God, it's Harley Quinn. Evil is afoot." And then the Carp and Sea Robin come in and start robbing the place, and they toss out knockout gas, knocking out Harley and her friends, and take Bruce Wayne captive.
Is there another dream sequence?
There
because
is
of this?
another dream
Okay.
sequence. Just so you know, it's Harley as Batman's Robin because she is dating Bruce Wayne. And best part of this dream sequence is that Harley Quinn gets a hold of his black casebook. You know about the black casebook.
Yeah.
It's actually his little black casebook, and it has all of the phone numbers and a bat rating system of all of the people he has slept with, and they lift off all of the people that Batman has slept with, and she's flipping through it.
Talia, too many scorpions.
Do people really do that?
I don't know.
In
I'm
media,
sure
they do.
I'm sure some people do. I can't really say that anyone doesn't because I've met too many D-bags in my life to know that that's not the case. It's very funny. They even have Talia and not Talia and whole greatest hits list. And she's talking about how, oh no, why are all these people listed in here? Blah, 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 blah. Amanda Connor's in there as well, the actual writer of the book. And, he distracts her real quick because they're in the car, and he's like, "Oh my God, is that a robbery over there?" And grabs the little black book and writes in her name and then a higher rating. And he's like, "But sweetie, you never got to your page." And she flips a page. She's like, "Oh, I'm number 1 in your bat ratings book. That's awesome. You're the best." And he's just like, phew. It's a cute little scene, you have to admit. So they wake up. Harley Quinn sets up everything to go rescue Bruce Wayne from the Carp and Sea Robin. Busts in just as Bruce Wayne has negotiated his own release and says, "Oh, you just want to save fish? Yeah, I can donate to that. I mean, hell, I do that type of stuff all the time." And she comes in, knocks them over the head with the mallets each, like clonk clonk, and saves the day. Woo!
Even though he was just going to give them money.
Yeah.
For
Well, really, he's just
fish?
bowing to terrorism at this point.
Really is. He's an enabler.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Wayne's an enabler. They end up getting their date. It's very awkward, but it flaws over the course of the date, and Harley Quinn ends up stealing a goodnight smooch from him. She's all like, "Hubba hubba, he's a hunk." Goes off about her life. Goes to the beach later on to meet her friends, and that's when Batman shows up, and he's like, "Grr, Harley Quinn, you're in New York City. What are you doing in New York City?" And she's like, "Dude, are you just gonna like follow me anywhere I go and just hassle me all the time?" And he's like, "No, it seems like you turned over a new leaf, but I'll be watching you." And she goes, "Okay, that's kind of weird, but whatever. FYI, it's all Valentine's Day, so I just want to see if this would, like, we have any chemistry." Steals a smooch and goes, "Yeah, you're all carpy. You're a dead fish. Yeah, here, go learn to kiss from Bruce Wayne because he's a real man. Yeah." And it's just Batman swinging away, smiling under his cowl, like, "Yeah, making out with Harley Quinn. That'll show the Joker. That's how you get back at your arch nemesis." He probably has like bat cameras set up all over the place, so next time Joker shows up, he's like, "Oh yeah, slide this little picture across the table." It's cute. It's lighthearted. It's fun. I know you're.
I saw an interview with them the other day where they're just like, "Yeah, we're pretty much trying to come up with every single Harley Quinn costume to keep the cosplayers busy."
Hey.
And then so I hear like Harley Quinn as Robin. It's like, oh yeah, they're totally doing that.
Oh yeah, and then the full formal ball gown Harley Quinn thing that was actually pretty stellar. So I know you're all Puritan. I don't like my sexy time in my comics.
Not even so much. I don't think Harley Quinn works as a solo character. I think she works best as Joker's sidekick. But that's just me.
See, I don't know. I kind of like that she has her own little madcap group of people like Egg Foo and the great descendant of Midget with a chain gun.
Yeah.
I mean, she has surrounded herself with very important characters here.
Yeah.
If Zillia Zox showed up, he would fit in right on this team.
Yeah, he would.
It would probably be the dead corpse of Zilius Zox that they would just use as a soccer ball with the dogs, but
We have not seen the body yet, my friend.
I know.
We'll join the Omega Men.
But it is lighthearted, it's fun, it's the complete thing that everyone was asking for when it was all grimdark, serious DC, even though it wasn't. But that was how everyone was seeing it, and they put this book out, and then it's just has people like you going, I don't like it because it's not Harley Quinn. It's this Harley Quinn.
Complaint is just not something I feel like reading, that's all.
That's fine.
Like you said, not everything is to everybody's taste.
I know. We should really actually put that in with the spoiler warning because we do get snarky sometimes, and it's not meant as this book is utter crap because it isn't most of the time.
It's just not our
Waiting
cup
on that
of
last
tea.
issue.
And I don't like tea, so I suppose it would not be my cup of whatever happens to be in my cup.
But what do you think of Mr. T? Yeah.
Nah.
I like gold chains in my tea.
Nah.
Brian, get us past this.
I'm on Secret 6 number 2.
Okay.
That's a pretty awesome cover.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, really
it
awesome
was.
cover. Yeah, so, was it a month late, you said?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a little hard picking back up after not really remembering what
I
happened
did have to
last
go back
time.
and read the first one.
Yeah. So we flash back to Catman, originally being imprisoned for a full year in a small space, and the torture he undergoes thanks to some creepy, obscured face guy in an institution known as Project Mockingbird.
Is that supposed to be Joker, or is that supposed to be a false lead or something like that? Just because he had like the big rigor mortis grin on his face.
That could be any mad scientist.
Okay.
So in the actual current time, the Secret Six is trapped in a box underwater that keeps asking what is the secret? They've got to figure it out and they'll get let out, I guess.
Yeah, I would assume. And until they answer, they're going to kill off one of the people inside there.
Yeah. Or they have to they get to vote on who's going to get killed.
Which doesn't make much sense because if they kill the person that knows the secret, how
Then they're all
will they
gonna
ever
die.
know the secret?
Yeah, so Catman is claustrophobic and freaking out, and the other members, Black Alice, Big Shot, Porcelain, Ventriloquist, and Strix, are all trying to figure out what to do with him, and maybe just, hey, we just tell him to kill Catman and get this over with.
I like this Strix, though. Yeah. I feel bad for him. We kill him?
Yes. Yep.
This is my solution to everything. Steel has his liquid metal. I kill people.
Yes. They are able to figure out that Ventriloquist must have telekinetic powers to make her dummy Ferdy move around.
Yes.
And be all kill happy. So, Catman, the original DC Man Candy, take that Nightwing, says Gail Simone, and has him make out with her to get her to raise the box out of the water. Porcelain is then able to break down the wall with her.
Anything she touches turns into porcelain.
Yeah. So they break free, and then they all attack an oil rig that is being run by the person that kept them down there. Black Alice, who can steal magic from other DC people, summons her own demon form, and Catman says he's going to pee all over the secret guy, as cats are wont to do.
Do you think Etrigan was right in the middle of a vicious rap battle when Black Alice stole his powers and he just couldn't drop a dope rhyme anymore?
I guess.
That's what they should cut to right there.
This name is like Heskinvade or something, so it could rhyme with maid, so... It's like Lady Demon. It's like Demon's ex-girlfriend or something.
I just want to see Etrigan at a rap battle, and all of a sudden he's just like, mom's spaghetti?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you beat me to that one. Jeez. Wasn't bad. It's just a little hard with the month-long gap. Maybe, hopefully, we'll get some steam going with the next one.
See, I think they did a good job as far as the decompression stuff.
Yeah.
Because I was afraid they were going to, pun not intended, I was afraid they were going to be stuck under the water there for the first arc as we got the backstories of each, like they'll lock the people in a room and, well, what's your story? And then each one gives their backstory so that it's all like, okay, now we know our cast, let's move forward. The decompression joke obviously was pretty easy there with them being under the water, but in this case it was second issue halfway through. They're like, okay, let's get them out, let's get them moving. Yeah. And they actually have a reason to hang out together because
they did do the whole flat. It's like, hey, we're going to be a team as opposed to,
we're six strangers.
Eight issues of the movement saying we're not a team. And that's, I guess we're not a team. We're not superheroes. And I guess we're a team and we're superheroes. Sorry, everybody.
Sorry, everything we were fighting for and all those words. Yeah, it's not true. Yeah. No, so I was happy about that part at least. It seems like it has direction. Like they want to have an overarching story that is what's happening and who's keeping these people together. I just don't know if I like all the characters yet.
I'm intrigued by Big Shot, if anything, because
Yeah?
he seems so like out of place.
I think
in the
he's
DC
going to be
world.
the first one to die because he's too likable.
I guess probably.
He's the guy that you want to...
But he's already trying to be Dad Bane to Black Alice.
Yeah, he is. He is. So
I think Porcelain is okay. You've gotten them out of the box. That's all we need you for, Porcelain.
thanks.
Go make some fine china.
If you really think about it, that'd be a pretty easy money-making thing. That's like the Midas touch of old people's houses.
Yeah.
Right? Just everything.
Get D to a pottery barn. You could be a manager, a district manager there.
I made a nice porcelain cat. Hey, where's my cat? I don't know, but have this porcelain cat.
Moving on to Green Lantern Corps number 39. John Stewart and his crew are on Fesca's planet Xerox, and they're trying to figure out where the whole Darkness Falls thing is from, and the quiet guy keeps trying to go, it's from Doctor Who! That's why it seems so familiar!
Oh.
But they keep shushing him, and it's like, oh, I'll never get to say anything. They get attacked by monsters, and Marrow, the little quiet guy, gets captured, and Fesca's mom gets killed. Jruk has feelings, too. Jruk feels sad.
I felt bad for Jruk. He had the little sad, like, Drax scene of patting the raccoon on the head.
Yeah,
where he's just like,
patting the kid,
"Me
patting
feel
Fesca's
bad
kid.
for you.
Jruk might be dad soon. Jruk have emotions, I guess.
Jruk say hi, slugger.
Yes. Jruk want to throw a ball around. So they keep fighting the demons that hide in the shadows and go looking for their lair. Meanwhile, off elsewhere in space, Von Daggle, finds his old partner, a seal, after some...
Wait, a seal?
Yes,
like,
a seal.
Yep.
It's actually got a very interesting design.
Yes, very much
as
so.
As far as, looks like an old, like her head looks like an old, like, tribal mask or something. It's
Yeah.
kind of cool. Not a usual thing. So after some gratuitous monster transformation pages, she's been working undercover for the Shadow Empire. And they've been doing terrible things to help spread the darkness. And they go and they look at something off panel and, oh, that's very shocking. And we don't find out what it is.
And she's all ticked off because she was sent there by the Guardians to infiltrate
Yes.
them. And she's been helping them in their cause to maintain her cover. And then she finds out that the people she was working for are all dead. And she's just been wasting her time
Yep.
for the last couple months.
Thank you. I skipped that sentence by accident. Yeah, so as John's crew makes it deep down in a cave to find the creatures they are looking for, they find a planet bomb, and oh crap, John Stewart's going to accidentally blow up a planet again. I can't go anywhere without there being a planet bomb. Yeah, one of John Stewart's big things is he accidentally blew up a planet once.
3 times.
Oh, 3 times.
3
Really?
times.
I wasn't aware it was that many.
Remember, he also killed Mogo, too, when it was taken over by the Black Lanterns.
Okay.
When Black Lantern logo was there, he just went,
if you're, so it's like, oh crap, we gotta kill a planet. Someone call John Stewart.
Yep, pretty much. John Stewart, we can't take you to any nice planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like his biggest shame, though. Isn't it? That he destroyed Xanshi, was that what it was? Just...
They got a whole Justice League Unlimited episode about it.
Yeah, where he just felt bad about it, but it was a no-choice thing. Right?
Yeah.
I assume it was that planet or everyone else in the galaxy was going to die, so he had to kill the planet.
Yeah.
And
I just don't understand how you kill a planet.
then, very good shot. He would make a big lantern construct rifle and shoot it.
Okay.
Like Lobo. Maybe
Yes.
he went over to Lobo's book and was like, hey man, how are you guys all killing planets? Maybe that's going to be the last thing in the Lobo series.
He's got to kill John Stewart.
No, John Stewart's just going to come home after all of his space adventures, and Lobo's like, oh shit, it's the planet killer himself. I don't know. I like the artwork in this one, though. It's
Oh, gee, Bernard Chang doing good work on a comic
yes,
book.
it is a first.
A novel idea.
It's got that Saturday morning feel, but more to it. You know what? I don't want to say it's light.
Saturday morning doesn't do it justice, I don't think.
It doesn't, but it feels vibrant, light.
It has a cartoonier touch than some of the other stuff you'll see in the New 52, but it still looks like a superhero comic.
Yeah, and it's still doing very.
It's one of those. You talk about the house style that some people have. Bernard Chang does not have a house style. He has a style of his own.
Yes, and it works.
Yes.
It works very well. So, moving on. Suicide Squad number 39. I'm just going to get the elephant out of the room since we were already talking about art. I don't know what is up with this book.
I've seen some preview art.
Yeah, it's
I'm just going to say that.
Yeah.
You can infer from my tone of voice.
It's just very, very strange to me. I don't know why it's at this point, because every artist I feel really bad disparaging any art because it's literally a month of their life that they put into this. And it's just, at the end of the day, at that end of the month, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I can't draw like this. There are panels in here that look wonderful. There's artwork in here that is amazing that I would just be astounded if I could do anything even close to it. And then you turn the page again, you're like, okay, that's an interesting choice that was made there. I'm just gonna roll with it. And then you turn the page again, and you're like, these don't feel like choices now. So I'm hoping that gets, I mean, it's a newer artist, I think. I haven't seen his work anywhere else, so I think it's a proving ground where he's trying to find his style, his vision, how he wants to do it. And, hopefully he finds something that works for him. But in this particular book, it's not quite fitting in what should be a very easy action, the house style would work very easily for this book is what I'm saying, pretty much. So let's jump into it. They're in China, trying to stop China from mass producing superheroes. They were able to blow up the factory, except one of their superheroes that China had manufactured got out. And the team we have is Captain Boomerang, Black Manta, Harley Quinn, Reverse Flash, and a couple Man-Bats just thrown in there for good measure. Because
Man-Bats.
Because Man-Bats. And where are they gonna lose this guy who's trailing them right now? Well, little did you know, China, not only does it manufacture cheap ripoffs of the products that the U.S. makes, they actually make cheap ripoffs of the cities that are in the United States because they have Chinese Metropolis. It's built exactly to scale and exactly like Metropolis, but in China.
Really?
Yeah. They built their own Metropolis, I'm assuming for reasons. No explanation, just...
I thought that was Dubai that did that.
Nope.
We want our own Las Vegas. Let's build another Las Vegas here.
So they go into this deserted metropolis in the middle of China, and they're trying to hide from this guy, and he's able to hear their breathing from across the city, and he comes flying down and starts shooting at them. They all scatter. Remember Reverse Flash's kneecap flew out of his body because he pushed himself too hard?
Yeah.
And shot off like a bullet. Well, Harley Quinn's leaving him behind. He's like, I can't walk. Just drag me to safety. And she's like, no way, dude. You're on your own. Runs off by herself. But luckily, the team is saved by an unlikely hero when a Man-Bat comes swooping in and goes hand to hand against this Chinese superhero, for lack of a better term. They're fighting. The Chinese hero just doesn't understand. Why did you kill all of my brothers and sisters? What are you doing? He's like, it's orders, dude. That's what we do. We just follow orders. I'm a Man-Bat. I'm gonna work for someone. Someone's gonna tell me to go kill something. That's what I do. That's what I was bred to do. And the Chinese hero just can't comprehend it, beats down the Man-Bat, but cannot kill him because all this killing, it's just wrong. Why are we killing everything? I'm not gonna do it. Amanda Waller decides to help him out though and just detonates the Man-Bat's collar because... because you were gonna get all the interrogation info out of a Man-Bat.
Yeah.
Squeeze! So the Chinese government, they start ordering this guy to kill all of the other Suicide Squad, but he refuses to follow orders. The Chinese government opens fire on him, and as the shells hit all through this fake metropolis, the Daily Planet building topples over, pinning Harley Quinn as the giant Daily Planet globe is falling from the sky about to crush her. Oh, if only someone fast was on the team that could save her, that she didn't just screw over by leaving behind. Wah, wah, poor Harley Quinn.
But if he was hurt and he couldn't...
Well, he could hop really fast. Hop, 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 hop.
Well, actually, couldn't he regenerate, couldn't he fix himself up?
I don't think it works with actual, bone structure, where it just goes knit, 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 knit. I'm sure if it's a broken bone, fine. His kneecap is still back in the exploded factory.
Okay.
It literally shot off of his body.
Well, his powers are a little bit different from Flash's.
Yes. If there was a train nearby, he could probably, or a monorail.
Yeah.
If there was a monorail.
There's a bullet train. Yeah. Come on.
He could just affix a piston onto his leg and just keep going then. Because he's powered by monorails.
Yep.
Again, I don't want to beat it up. It needs a little work. This title does need a little bit of work though. So, moving on. What you got?
All right, Klarion number 5.
Oh God. Why did I do this?
Are you ready for a bizarre stream of conscious blah 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 blah? So,
craziness, pockets, things.
Yeah.
Things?
So, we're still inside Clarion's pocket.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we're in Clarion's pocket.
He has a pocket dimension in his pocket.
And they all went inside of it.
Because Beelzebub the barber, the demon barber,
Beelzebub,
said, hop in my car and we'll drive into your pocket.
Yes.
And that's what they did.
To get away from witch cops.
Yes. Yes, of course.
Cops who fight witches. Exclusively.
Who were at least protecting the citizens in that overnight sensation of robots that just have showed up out of nowhere. And holy crap, do they run wild with that in this one?
Oh, yeah. So,
I feel like I missed something.
No, you didn't
at all. So, inside Clarion's pocket, where Noah and Demon Barber Beelzebub won't stop pounding on each other, as all men do, Klarion is about to eat a robot millipede from the future to give him phenomenal technomancer powers, but that nag goth Rapunzel won't stop reminding him how their almost friend Kid Rasputin ate one and a robot ate its way out of his hands. But Clarion's like, but the power.
Come on.
I want a lot of power.
You remember last
Rapunzel?
issue when I was just saying that that's creepy weird and we shouldn't let people eat these pills, but I want to eat this pill.
Yeah. Suddenly, because Clarion's pocket spits them all out at the Moody Museum. It's very convenient. And now that he's eaten a bug from the future, Klarion is all, screw you guys, I don't need you anymore, I just got canceled, blows up the front of the museum, and steals Demon Barber Beelzebub's bitchin' Camaro and drives off to fight Cole and Necrot because they're the villains of the story arc despite barely having any contact with Klarion.
But they do have a conversation with their dad.
He uses his new internet magic to dox Cole and find out that he has daddy issues. Boom! I got you. I'm going to make fun of your dad. Meanwhile, at the Necropolitan Club, Kid Rasputin is busy getting to second base with the robot that he ate and then crawled out of his hand, Contessa. I don't know, everyone's got different baseball terminology for dating. What base is it when you start switching robot body parts with your significant other, Sean?
I think that's Grand Slam. I can't think of anything because I've rounded the bases
maybe?
once or twice. Sack fly. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, so Cole and Necrot show up and are all, hey, grabby hands off your sister. She was grown from your cells. Like, no, wait, she's more like his daughter, and he's the mother. And Kid Rasputin is suddenly not cool with grinding all up on his buddy bot. It's very weird. I was cool with the weirdness of wanting to make out with this thing that crawled out of my hand, but once you called it my daughter, that became very weird. Things went to a weird place.
That's the line for him, huh?
Yeah.
That's the line where it crossed over into, this is too weird, guys. I gotta go.
Yeah.
I would say that it was weird eating the bug thing.
That then drilled its way out of his own hand,
no, just eating
and then
the
turned
bug.
into a robot woman, and he was fine with making out and switching body parts with it until it's like, oh, by the way, we're related because I have your DNA. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, the bug part would have bothered me before we got to anything else.
Yep. So Cole starts talking with his dad, a fellow inventor who was the boring guy they gave a wife bot to a few issues ago. And man, Cole's dad sure does hate women. He puts his wife bot on mute.
Oh,
men.
He's the real villain.
We also get his backstory where Cole's dad tried to kill himself because his company stole his patents. But Cole distracted him, so he only shot off the top of his skull, and a splinter of his skull embedded itself in Cole's heart. And that's what makes you all goth and broody, apparently, is having a piece of your dad's skull in your heart.
That's how he got his powers.
His powers of question mark?
Their powers of playing Xbox while talking about maybe taking over the world later and profit sharing.
Yes. So at Demon Barber Beelzebub's, we see on the TV that they're talking about how the buddy bots have taken over society over the course of 12 hours to the point that artificial life legislation is already going through Congress.
Congress does not move that fast.
And boy howdy does every pundit ever have something to say about it. Also, Klarion gives birth to a Klarion cat spider buddy bot out of his hand, and it's a girl! Bust out the cigars. Klarion immediately rejects it and leaves it with his girlfriend of what, 4 hours? Because all men are deadbeat dads, just like Demon Barber Beelzebub.
We're not reading this wrong, right? This has been like 12 hours total.
Yeah.
Like he just got to the school, spent
He spent the night, yeah.
and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all one day that
Yeah.
we're dealing with.
And so just like that, Klarion goes out on a rooftop, summons some birds into a Klarion shape, and waxes poetic about how he's going to beat Kol and Necrot with his pagan power, because man, those guys, I saw one of you, like, once. Time for the series to end abruptly. Who could have seen that coming? Klarion, everybody!
Woo!
Okay.
That sums it up.
There were
right
good
there.
3 issues where it made sense.
Yeah. At the beginning, we were kind of
on board.
It was like, okay, I think this could work. And then I think once the cancel hammer came down, it was like here's some of the ideas that were on sticky notes around my computer. I'm just going to arbitrarily throw them in.
Yep. There was one very cute scene where after Klarion blows up the front of the house, where Piper's just like, "Hey Noah, why don't you get the number of that nice man that fixed the roof after the griffin tore through it?"
Yeah,
it's like that. Oh, that's great. Can we get more of that?
I don't know. I do. The thing is I cannot say that Anna Chenti is a bad writer. I've read works of hers prior that are really, really good. Even in the stuff recently, there are plot elements and ideas that were like, hey, that's something you can run with. Hey, that's something you can run with too. These are great ideas. My thing is do you think, and follow with me here.
Okay.
Do you think she trusts us too much? Us being the readers. Where she goes, I don't need to fill in these gaps. You guys can make the links yourselves. I'm just doing a higher level here, and you guys can fill in the gaps. I am the complete opposite of decompression. I am compressing this thing to a ridiculous degree by just editing out scenes in between that are basically just segue scenes to begin with. Because that's been our biggest criticism, is the segues between scenes make no sense whatsoever, and they just kind of go hop, 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 hop. All conjecture, obviously. We don't know an answer to this question. I'm just saying, the way it reads to me...
This thing is, you can read it as that, but then there's all that ham-fisted things where they're just beating you over the head with the ideas and quote-unquote subtext, even though it's very, very, what's the opposite of
overt
subtext?
Text.
Overtext? Yeah.
Overt text.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
Brad McCarthy's pretty awesome. I can't wait till he starts drawing fish people.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool.
That's gonna be great.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying though. It's just, we've all had criticisms when it comes to Anna Chenti's stuff in the New 52. It's just been, we've been very upfront about it. Mm-hmm. We've been very, okay, what is it? The whole Katana Catwoman stuff, I still to this day say she's a genius. Genius. Never been more entertained in my life with those books. This one felt just more like I trust you guys to be able to piece these things together into a cohesive story. I don't need to do it for you. Nah. I'm not going to hold your hand in this storytelling process. That's what it feels like to me. Where it's like, I'm an adult, you're adults, I'm not going to hold your hand. Here's the ideas that I have, and here's kind of the story I'm telling. You can fill in the gaps.
Okay, I'm going to be mean for a second.
And I
feel bad
second?
for being mean. But, I mean, granted, I'm not reading it. I'm getting it secondhand from you guys. But it sounds like a drunk person trying to tell you a story.
Or us trying to recap any of these books on a normal day.
Yeah.
Well, no, but that's what it's coming across as. A drunk person trying to tell you a story where it's all over the place, and then they get distracted, and then start adding in something else, and then they can't remember all the details, so then they make up something else.
Like that one page where a pink elephant suddenly supported alcoholism.
And we never heard
from it again. Nope.
And we never will.
Never will.
That was like someone asking, hey, what happened with Killer Croc in Katana? This is on Reddit, by the way.
Really?
Where someone was like, yeah, Killer Croc showed up in Katana as well, and I don't know what happened there. I was like, oh, he showed up, broke a sword, freed a dragon, and rode it away Falcor style, never to be seen again. They're like, you know what? I could not have made up something more insane than that. Yeah, so you have to admit there's creativity. It is overflowing with creativity.
Oh, yeah.
There is creative geysers just erupting left and right. It's just no one's reining it in is what it feels like. We gotta harness those geysers. Harness them. Power the book. I don't know. As I said, with this particular series though, that's the feeling I got, where it was I trust you guys enough. in the writer-reader relationship to be able to handle this, and we're just not. To be frank, I'm just not holding up my end of the deal whatsoever, because I'm just reading it and laughing in tears and like, what are we doing here? So that's it. That's going to be all our books and our super snarky. I'm just going to call this the Beth episode because we were all channeling our inner Beth. A little snarky this week. So apologies to everyone.
I was going to say, we spent all our love yesterday on Valentine's Day.
Is that what it is? The love
Yep.
reservoir is empty and we have to refill it now?
Yep, that's what it
Blast of
is.
Star Sapphires. Did I say Trevor McCarthy or Brendan McCarthy? It's Trevor McCarthy.
Oh, I think you said Trevor.
I don't know.
That's what I just heard, McCarthy, so.
Okay. Very good.
But as a reminder to you guys, go out there and buy these books. You have to support them. There are good books. There are books in here that, while we may badmouth them, I won't even say badmouth them because we're not being vindictive, I think, in our criticisms. Some of it we're just having fun with just outright. It may be exactly what you're looking for. There are 10,000 books out there that I absolutely adore that I am sure all of you hate. There are 10,000 books that you all adore that I will read and just go, this is drivel to me. I cannot understand why anyone would like it. To copy paste or copy pasta our likes and dislikes onto your own is a disservice to yourself. So do not just go by that. But if you do not buy the books, Kelly, what happens?
They get canceled, then we're bored.
Yeah, exactly. And it won't be out there for you to even try it. So at least give stuff a fair shake. That's all we ask. Next week, we're back up into the higher numbers of books again because we got 16 total coming out. Justice League number 39. I think it's the end of the Amazovirus, or it's the penultimate one at least before we head into Convergence. Earth 2 World's End number 20. So important, they won't even show me the cover. Must be something big going down there. Teen Titans number 7. Trinity of Sin number 5. It's all of the Trinity in a box. What's in the box? Trinities.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman number 39. Supergirl number 39. Back to Space Hogwarts. Batman Superman number 19. Batman and Robin number 39. Oh, Damien, you put down that car. You're not Superman. Batwoman number 39. Red Hood and the Outlaws number 39. Green Lantern New Guardians number 39. Skip a couple here. Batgirl number 39. Superman Wonder Woman number 16 with Magog all like, what's up? I'm Magog. How's it going, guys? Oh my God, that's what he said. And
oh my God.
oh my God. Batman Eternal number 46 with Ra's al Ghul looking all spiffy keen on the cover. New 52 Future's End number 42, which, you know what we forgot to mention? Isn't Ray Palmer dead?
Yeah, I know I said Adam got destroyed. You were laughing about breast cancer lasers.
Oh, okay.
I said it.
Well, thank goodness, because, breast cancer lasers were very important. Well, he's on the cover. Brainiac shooting breast cancer lasers all over the place, so he really wants to make you guys aware of breast cancer. And finally, last but not least, Multiversity Mastermen number 1 with Uncle Sam and Nazi Superman having a over-the-top arm wrestling match.
The unfortunate part is when Uncle Sam turns his top hat backwards, it's still just a top hat.
Yeah. I hope that has the soundtrack to Over the Top, though, playing in the background, because if it doesn't, I'm just going to hang out at my local comic shop, and whenever anyone picks it up, I'll just hit the button on my phone, and it'll be like, Over the Top! Yeah! That's all I think of when I see arm wrestling competitions.
Yep.
But that's it. Nice, healthy bundle of books for us next week. If you guys do want to contact us, if you want to yell at us for being snarky this week, go ahead. We deserve it. We were a little salty. I'm well aware of it, but we're, I don't even know.
We're not re-recording. We're just going to go with it.
Yeah, I don't even have an excuse for this week. So, Kelly,
Sorry, not sorry.
What do people do?
Just like Lobo.
We just have to be better people next week. We can slip up every now and again. We just can't be bitter, sarcastic people all the time. That's not our style. We're positive people.
Yes.
We're positive people. So, Kelly, what can people do to reach out to us?
I'm positive that
Go on
I'm
the
not
internet.
enjoying World's End.
Is this your new whipping boy?
Yep.
Type a DCR podcast into the internet.
That's what you do. We're everywhere out there. You can email us at feedback@dcrpodcast.com. leave the feedback. It's more than fair. If you guys want to rip into us, we dished it out, so bring it on back if you want to. In that case, though, I think we're going to say our goodbyes. Kelly, do you have anything before we take off for this week?
No, not really.
How about you, Brian?
I do, actually.
Oh, boy.
No, this is super positive and super nice.
Is it going to be some weird little indie book that you're just going to be like, oh, I read this book and it's super awesome and you should go buy it?
Actually, you don't have to buy it at all. It's completely free.
What? Madness!
Atomic Robo, which is basically a science-based Hellboy that anyone can read.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of all ages. You need to be a little bit more understanding of science to read it. So, you know, I'd say maybe like 8 to 10.
Okay.
Maybe. But yeah, it's gone free. The entire back catalog is being released daily on the Atomic Robo website.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, that's what they're doing. And then all the new issues are going to be online webcomics. So.
Oh, they're skipping print entirely? Or?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Not even like trades?
Not that I'm aware of, but I'm not them. So.
Okay. Well,
but you've got three.
You're not Atomic Robo?
I'm not Atomic Robo. No, I'm not a Nikolai Tesla robot. But yeah, it's the like the first 3 arcs are up. You can go and read it from the beginning, and I highly recommend it.
Fair enough.
And then you can be extra excited when Dr. Dinosaur shows up, who is one of the greatest comic characters of all time.
Fair enough. Well, make sure you do that then. Check it out. So, with that being said, everyone, enjoy your books, enjoy your week, enjoy your lives, because we're checking out for this week, so I guess we'll talk to them next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it next week again. So have a great week, guys.